One of the things that most people know about airships is the walls are built of recycled tires. And they're pounded with earth that you get right from the site. So the thing is, your building materials are, number one, free if you go and find used tires. And secondly, the soil on the property can be used to pack those tires tightly with earth without having to import anything. So you can build up your walls, your thick walls, with tires, and in general try to use recycled materials. So it made it affordable for people that had plenty of energy and not much money. In addition to that, you had a sustainable house, because the idea was to use solar power, the energy of the sun to charge batteries that would give you a system of power in the house. Plus you'd collect the rainwater. And I thought it was pretty exciting. At the time I was probably young enough and energetic enough to consider building one. But as it turned out, we have other obligations and you have to work. If you're working, you work in a city, so it's not easy to do. So it was only when I retired I actually came here to look at this greater world community where they had built so many airships, to see if I thought I'd like to live here. It was kind of an old dream in a sense, but by the time I got here I wasn't ready to put out the energy to build one, so so I looked at houses that were available for sale, and this was one of them, and I really fell in love with this and decided to buy it. The advantages of being off the grid and not having to rely on lines and water lines and other things of that type, which can break or can break down, the systems can break down, you are independent. So you really didn't need to be anywhere near the grid. You could build pretty much anywhere. You are able to create the utilities you need right on site. And this as a concept is a good one, because if more of us were doing this kind of thing, of course, we would not have the, we'd be using natural resources. Generally, these houses are built with U-shaped segments as the walls, backing onto the north, facing the south. So we're really talking about a deep sort of cave-like structure that's built of thick walls, and then we've got glass facing south so we can get all that passive heating coming into the house, heating the thick walls, and tend to maintain a somewhat consistent temperature throughout the year. I don't need to heat this house. I get enough heat in this house from the sun, even in the deepest winter. The sun is giving out energy all the time, and even though the solar systems that exist at the moment are not very efficient, they are efficient enough to give you all the power you need. I've got 8 large batteries that have 150 ampere hour capacity. So I've really got 8 times that is 1200 ampere hours. I did originally have 4 panels, which at times, when the occasional cloudy day came along, was a little bit light. I had to economize on my power in the evening, and I occasionally use the generator to augment that, just for an hour, now and then. I added 2 panels recently, and they are adequate. They certainly charge. I can run my TV for hours in the evening if I want. I mean, I've got my washing machine, I've got this large screen TV, I've got my computer, this runs my telephone, I've got internet. I think the creativity of the Earthship comes from, in a sense, the founder, Michael Reynolds, who is the architect that thought up this idea. He is not a conventional architect by any means, and certainly is quite an artist. An architect is a kind of combination between an engineer and an artist. And I think the creativity of shape and design of some of the special features that you might see on airships. Some have got these wonderful arches and bulbous creations and full of old glass bottles that are illuminated at night, that kind of thing. I think that comes from Michael Reynolds. He put his stamp on that. And certainly when you're building with Adobe, you can certainly let your creative imagination go.